Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Denise Middleton, and welcome to Volunteer Vibes. So glad to have you guys with us. It has been such an exciting week with our Astros winning. So, you know what? I hope your week has been going well as well. We have some really fun, unique volunteer opportunities to tell you about. And so I have several guests with me this morning. The first is Miss Michelle Bonten with the Harris County Cultural Arts Council. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Denise and Vibes viewers.
How are you? You guys
I
are
am
having,
excited. I'm excited and doing well. So
I
glad
bet
to
you
be here.
are. So, you guys have your Greens Bayou Wine, Art, and Music Festival. That alone just sounds fun, just saying that out loud. So, tell us all about it.
Well, this is the first annual Greens Bayou Wine Art and Music Festival, and it is just what it's called. We're going to have lots of exciting things for the East Houston community. We've got some great musicians that are going to be coming out performing. We've got wine tastings. We've got beautiful artwork by some fabulous artists, and it's just going to be a fun day.
And how did this all come about?
Well, the Cultural Arts Center has been around for just a few years. We're the first and only arts organization in the community, and we're always looking for ways to boost community engagement amongst the residents in unincorporated East Harris County. And we realized that nothing like this has ever been done before. And so we said, hey, we're here now. Let's make it happen.
All right. So, tell us some of your needs. What do you need from volunteers to help make this a success?
Sure. So the biggest thing we need is people to help with events management. We need folks to help with setup, breakdown, and then just kind of provide support throughout the event. We are blessed to have the Harris County Public Library. Harris County Commissioner Ellis, Rodney Ellis, Precinct 1, is going to be on board assisting. But we need people who can help with the legwork, and make sure that the experience for the community members is seamless.
Right. And so this is happening tomorrow. Here's the flyer, guys. It's from noon to 6. But what are the shifts for the volunteers? What time do you need them to be there? And how long do you need them to stay?
We need volunteers all day. We're asking people to come in 3 to 4 hour shifts. We'll be starting as early as 9 o'clock in the morning, as I said, with setup.
Mhm.
Then throughout the event, we need people to just kind of be ambassadors, making sure that people know where they can get help in case they have any kind of medical emergency. We'll have a health tent out there. We need folks to man our kids zone, which is going to be awesome.
Oh,
We even need people to help give tours inside the building because we've got a beautiful photo fest exhibit up that we'd like to show off.
mm-hmm. Well, a kids zone. That sounds fun too. So, how many volunteers are you looking for? And do you have a specific age range?
Sure. So thank you for asking that question. Volunteers need to be at least 16 years old, and we need a crew of about 10 people. If we can get 10 more people, we will
Okay.
be locked and loaded and can make this event happen. And we would split those 10 people into AM and PM shifts. So we, ask folk to do 9 to 1, as I said, and then
Mm-hmm.
we ask people to also do 1 to 4, and then we want another group to roll through and do like 3 to 8. So 3 shifts, 9 to 1, 1 to 4, and then an overlapping group of from 3 to 8. That's 5 hours. I'm sorry. So that's a little bit
Okay.
longer. Yeah.
Now we are, in the fall season, but it's been feeling like summertime still. And I know this event is outside. So, what advice do you have for some folks who may be volunteering for something like this for the first time?
So the weather is supposed to be nice tomorrow. It's very kind of like it is today. It's pretty mild, and we are asking people so that you can be easily identified. We'll have a T-shirt for you, but we're asking that you wear black bottoms because we're going to kind of do like a black on black, and the
Okay.
T-shirt will be a logo T-shirt to help people identify.
Okay. All right. And I see that you guys are reminding them to bring plenty of sunscreen, sunglasses, and hats as well.
Yes, absolutely, because the sun will be out.
All right. Well, do you have any other volunteer opportunities in case they can't make this one that may be coming up later in the month or some that you have to prepare for later on?
So we absolutely do. Next month in November, we're opening a fabulous art exhibit by one of our artists in residence called Ebony Love Letters, and we need ambassadors and hosts for that. And then big event that's coming up that they can see in the Volunteer Houston system called an Evening of Elegance, where we're hosting the Houston Ebony Opera Guild with a VIP reception. So we need servers, we need ushers. That's going to be a really super big show.
That sounds nice. So I'm glad you mentioned those. So for those of you watching, in case you can't make it, you can go to volunteerhou.org, check out the portal, and see what times they have available there. Michelle, thank you so much. I hope you guys have a great turnout and a good time.
Thank you for having us, Denise. We love being a part of the show.
Absolutely. Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Want to give a shout out to some folks joining us today. Good morning, Nina. She says, good morning, everyone. Please feel free to leave us any comments in case you have any questions about some of the events. And right now, I want to bring in another guest, Miss Lisa. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. So please tell us what you need right now, because I know you all have an event on Sunday, October 16th. And
That's
so
right.
This is for, Lisa is with Interfaith Environmental Stewardship. This is for their event, rather. So tell us about it.
Sure. So each spring and each fall, we get a group together to take care of the Willow Waterhole green space, which is a very large park in the city of Houston that's newer, much newer than some of the more established parks. So it needs more TLC, it needs more care. So we bring out a group of dozens of people, as many as we can get, because there's always plenty to do in the park. And we work with the Willow Waterhole Conservancy, who supplies all of the tools, all the supplies, and they decide what work we're going to do because they're the ones who are actually taking care of the park day to day. So we basically come out and augment what they can do with a group of willing laborers, let's say. And we take all ages, all skill levels. We will find you something to do. We will put you to work. No matter who you are.
Yeah, tell us about some of the things that, I mean, you guys sent us a few pictures, but tell us about some of the things.
This one is some young men mulching, and I'd have to say we will definitely be mulching this Sunday. They have ordered some mulch. It helps all of the plantings to deal with periods when there's not very much moisture. And there's another young gentleman hauling some mulch. So that's one of the activities we will definitely have planned for this Sunday afternoon. Of course, we may have plenty of other things. Yeah, there's some more kids mulching.
Lots of mulch.
A lot of mulching. At that particular event, there was a lot of mulching. But we often do many other tasks for the park. It's whatever they need us. Sometimes we're cleaning park benches because the birds have left surprises on them. Sometimes we're painting. There's a good example of us repainting a sign in the park. And you can see we've got, younger people involved. And sometimes we plant plants. Sometimes we trim trees. You name it, we've done it. Weeding in the native plant pollinator garden. If there's a task to be done in the park, we've done it. And it's basically just dependent on what they need at this point. Now, I want to point out that this time especially, we're going to be trying to get the park ready for Music Fest that they hold there on October 29th, October 29th. It's their big event in the Willow Waterhole green space each year. So we're making sure that the park is beautiful and welcoming for all those people who are showing up on the 29th for Music Fest.
Yeah, I bet it's going to take a lot of work. I mean, and that's so great that you let the kids get involved. I bet they love that. Yes. Is there
kids love it.
Is there any age that's too young? I guess what's the age range that you're?
Well, I have had entire families come with children in strollers. Now, the children in the strollers are clearly not, mulching, right?
They're just for support.
They're kind of tourists during the event. But no, you can bring families with young children can come. Now, of course, if you bring young children, you do need to keep an eye on them. We're not responsible for supervising young kids, but no, families with kids in strollers have come and older children. We have had scout troops. We have had high school groups. We've had groups of college students. We have groups from houses of worship that will come. People of all ages, retirees come. We have so many different things you could do in the park to help beautify and make it ready and welcoming for people to show up to Music Fest, that no matter what you are able to do, we will find you something meaningful to do in the park to make it a better place for Houstonians to gather.
Yeah, and some people may not think that it takes all that to get a park together, but talk about the importance of having all those volunteers and what it takes, to keep the
Well,
park nice.
I have to say, the last time I was there, I was part of the park bench cleaning crew.
Mhm.
And indeed, the birds had left quite a few nice little surprises on the park benches that made you not want to sit there. So you might not think about that, but a park, of course, attracts a lot of animals, and they do
Mhm.
tend to leave those little surprises in places where maybe we don't want them to. Let's put it that way. So that needs to be done. And the other thing that's unfortunate, but it's true, is that people drop trash in the park. And so often we
Yeah.
are in there picking up trash. And a park with trash in it is just not a beautiful and welcoming place, right? So
Yeah.
it's important to get that cleaned up. And people unfortunately drop trash. Some of the other things, obviously planting plants. This park wasn't a park that many years ago. So we have done a lot of work in our past events to plant plants, shrubs, trees to make the park more beautiful. Because when you go out to a park, that's what you want to be surrounded by, right? Beautiful
Exactly.
trees and plants and shrubs. You want to walk down the trails and the paths and have the birds in the trees and the squirrels running around and all of that kind of beautiful natural setting so you can relax, right? And so it's important. You can't, those trees need TLC. They need to be trimmed. They need to be mulched. Plants die and need to be replaced. Sometimes we've gone in and we've done watering because it's been particularly dry. So we need to get out and water the plants
Right, yeah.
if we're going to make it. So parks don't take care of themselves.
Exactly. So, and I bet probably it's still, quite the experience for the volunteers as well. What do they say about, how they feel afterwards?
I think they really enjoy it. I mean, you can tell from the photos that we take that people are having a good time, especially the kids. I don't know, the kids really just love to get out in the park and help out.
Run around.
They run around, but they're helping out. I mean, they actually like to get out and help and do work. I guess they feel like they're contributing, right?
Mhm.
So you see a lot of smiles and there's a lot of laughing and fun. And as I said, whole families come out or couples sometimes come out. So it's a great thing to do together with the people that you love, right? Get out and spend the afternoon in the park, enjoy nature, and contribute to creating, a wonderful park for all of Houstonians to enjoy.
I love that this is a family opportunity. So that's great.
Absolutely. And scout troops, anything like that. Really, it's open to anyone who wants to come. But yes, especially welcoming for children because we always find things they can do.
All right. Well, do you have any other opportunities that you want to mention?
Well, I just want to reiterate, we do this every fall and every spring. So just to those who like this kind of opportunity, just keep an ear to the ground because, of course, we will do this again in the spring. And we would love to have people be repeat volunteers.
All right, Lisa, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right, so we have one more guest here. Let me bring in Miss Peggy Burke. She's with Books for Development. Good morning, Peggy.
Good morning, Denise. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Of course. How are you?
Doing very well. A beautiful morning here.
It sure is. And now tell us about Books for Development for folks who may not be familiar with it.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity. Yes, in fact, you have spotlighted our charity before, our nonprofit, and it was the response that we got was wonderful. So let me tell you just real briefly. We are a Houston nonprofit that collects used books and repacks them and redistributes them to persons in need. And when I say redistribute, we distribute to both areas here in Houston, to the Harris County jails, and to points all around the world. Our most frequent destination is Uganda in East Africa, also Kenya. We've shipped to Malawi. We have sent books to Botswana. We have also started shipping quite a few books to Belize. And this month, a small shipment is going also to Guatemala. We received quite a few donations of Spanish language books at our warehouse. And so those books, we've always tried to find a reuse for them. For me, it's a wonderful project of recycle, repurpose, and reuse.
Well, my goodness, it sounds like you're going to need a lot of volunteers to sort through all those books. So tell us what all you need, though.
What we do is we take volunteers. Anybody can come down and join us on Saturday mornings. We are at a warehouse at 3709 Polk Street, which is just off of I-45 in Scott, very near University of Houston and Edo. So volunteers sign up ahead, let us know they're coming. We take any volunteers, usually about 15 years and older is best. We have groups that come from different sororities and fraternities. Houston Christians Honor Society has been coming out for years, helping us sort. And so what we do is we simply take the boxes of books that have been donated to us, and we put them into each of these. If you'll notice in some of these photos, these blue bins, there's a wonderful volunteer with a young man in Kenya. She's reading to him. So we take the volunteers and they pick up every single book that's donated. We put hands on and take a look, make sure it's in good condition. There's a family that has come and volunteered with us. Make sure the books are in good condition and that they're appropriate to the destination they're bound for. And then they're set into the boxes by category. And this is a group from U of H. This is the Alpha Epsilon Delta sorority that's come out. And Layla, one of their members, has been working with us almost every Saturday now. She's really taken this as a passion. And she's brought her group out to join us, and she's brought friends out to join us. So it's really, we're there from 9 until 12. It's a 3-hour short stint. We have been so pleased over the summer that we've gotten so many great volunteers that can weather the heat that we have. It's quite warm in that warehouse. It's not an air-conditioned warehouse, just a big open warehouse. And so we really appreciate all the volunteers that have done that.
Well, and so how many volunteers do you typically need, any given Saturday to help you guys, keep up with the pace? Because you have a lot of books here.
A lot of books. As I think Kevin mentioned last time he was on the show, we've shipped over 1 million books, and that means 1 million books have been touched by our volunteers.
Wow.
Boxes. Ideally, we like between 15 and 20 volunteers each Saturday. So that makes it so we have enough room to spread out and do the work that we need to do. And so that's what we're asking for is people, if you have an interest in literacy, if you have an interest in sharing the wonderful wealth of books that we have here in Houston with others around the city and around the country and around the world, we'd love for you to come down and just give us 3 hours of your time and just see what a wonderful, generous community this Houston is that has donated all the books. Because for the most part, 99% of the books come from the Houston area. And these are people that just have extra books in their home or downsizing their homes. Some of the school districts clean out their libraries. Some small private librarians call us and want to clean out their books. And we accept all of those.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, for people who may not, be able to contribute in that way, how can they donate the books? Where do they need to bring them? And what do they need to do exactly?
Well, like I said, we're located at 3709 Polk, and we are open. Our garage door is open every Saturday morning from 9 to 12, and they can simply put the books that they want to donate in bags or boxes in any form and drop them off to us. And then take them. We obviously give you a receipt for the books so that it is a donation to a nonprofit. We just appreciate that people have such a wealth of books in their home, and once they've read them, they're ready to share them, and we're ready to have them.
That's awesome. And so for people who may be wanting to do this for the first time, is there anything that they need to know before they come?
Well, we do ask that if you're going to come down, that you would arrive a few minutes before 9 o'clock. We like to do a small orientation so that you can be brought up to speed very quickly. It takes 5 minutes. We ask that you wear comfortable shoes, closed-toed, because we are dealing with heavy boxes and, things are moving around and tables are moving. And just be comfortable. We have water and refreshments there, but if you feel like you need to bring some extra water, that's always a great idea in the summertime. But again, the training is very quickly done, and you'll find that you'll be picking up books that you haven't seen since maybe your childhood, and
I bet.
tons of memories. And I so enjoy when we have a group of high school kids come out and they're sorting through the books, and so often they stop and they pick up a children's book that they remember and sit there the book over again, and it lights up their face, and it reminds you how important reading really is to all of us. And it reminds me that there are places in the world that children never even have a book to touch or to own. And for us to be able to provide that small gift and that little push to help with their education and literacy, it just warms our hearts. And that's why we continue to do this every Saturday.
Well, I love it. And I love the program. I love what you all are doing. Are there any other opportunities in case people, can't make a Saturday? Anything else that may be coming up that they need to know about?
Well, as far as just our volunteer requirement, what we're looking for, that's really is the Saturday. If you have a special group, we have had some businesses put together sort of like a company retreat or a service project. We do welcome that and can make arrangements to have someone come out and open up the warehouse during the week for that type of a special group. So if you're an organization that wants to get just a special, 10 or 12 of your own workmates together and do this as a project, we really appreciate that. We find that it benefits everybody. Everybody enjoys it and takes something away from it. So that's an opportunity. If you have a special interest, a really special drive for a particular country or community that you feel needs books, please communicate that with us. We're always looking for people to take on a special project. I myself was really interested in sending books to Belize. And so we did that, started doing that a couple of years ago. And I was amazed. Some of the countries that you wouldn't imagine have very rural areas and are in great need of books. And so if anybody has a special interest like that, we would very much welcome them.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, Peggy with Books for Development. Thank you so much. You have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.
All right, and of course we have Miss Erin here with Volunteer Houston to tell us what else is happening this weekend. Hey there, Erin.
Hi, Denise. Thanks for having me. So I do want to highlight there is an opportunity tomorrow with the Walk to Defeat ALS Houston. So this walk is tomorrow. It's happening from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. And they're definitely looking for some volunteers. They want to say that your participation and helping them with this walk is going to have a direct impact on people living with ALS and their families at a local level. So through education and support groups and access to care and advocacy, they want you to know that they're working to defeat ALS and provide hope to people living with ALS and their families. So this walk tomorrow, if you want to get outside, I definitely recommend going and volunteering for it. And you can find this in the Volunteer Houston portal. This is with the ALS Association Texas chapter. And I do have another really fun volunteer opportunity I want to highlight. They say fabric fondlers are needed at the Houston Center for Creative Reuse. And let me explain what that means right here. So they have a lot of incoming flood of fabric donations that have been diverted from Houston's landfills. And so volunteers are needed to help measure fabric yardage, roll it up, wrap with tape, and mark what the yardage is. And so they'll give you a brief orientation. And so if you're someone who knows fabric, maybe you like quilting, that's helpful, but it's not required. And this is an indoor volunteer opportunity. So if you've ever been to Texas Art Asylum and their teacher store, they divert waste that would go to the landfills and have it for creative purposes available at the Houston Center for Creative Reuse. So if you're looking for that, maybe you want to see what they've got. If you're an artsy person and want to create some stuff, this would be a really cool chance to do that. And if you like organizing, it's also a really fun opportunity. So, and they do want you to know that there are a couple of cats that may insist on being your assistants on site. So that sounds like a really fun opportunity. And they're looking for volunteers on Fridays and Saturdays from 12 to 2. So that's really cool. So if you love sorting things and maybe you're creative, I definitely recommend checking out the Houston Center for Creative Reuse. If you want to get outside and volunteer tomorrow, check out the Walk to Defeat ALS Houston with the ALS Association Texas chapter.
All right, and we still have the Greens Bayou Wine, Art, and Music Festival as well. So lots to do, plenty to choose from. Lisa, Peggy, thank you all so much for coming on this morning. I sure do appreciate it. You guys know we're going to be here every Friday at 11 a.m. In case you are interested in something, coming up. We'll keep you informed and let you know where you need to go. Of course, volunteerhou.org is always available in case you want to check out the portal. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. See you next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.